Fakeout or real? Was yesterday's crypto pump following this Donald Trump tweet something we can rely on, or was it just a trap and things are about to get much worse from here? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what this tweet from Donald Trump shows us about what's going on behind the scenes in crypto and who was really responsible for pumping the markets yesterday. I'm also going to tell you exactly what is going to play out over the next few days, so do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get into today's video. Now guys, after months of sideways and downwards action for Bitcoin and the altcoins, we've all of a sudden seen the markets awaken to some exciting news from Donald Trump just yesterday. But I think this tweet that he made is showing us something bigger than many people are giving it credit for. So before we go and find out exactly what's going to happen next in these crypto markets, let's have a look at this tweet and understand what the hell is going on. Donald Trump made this tweet yesterday saying that he was going to form a crypto strategic reserve that included XRP, Solana and Cardano, which had a crazy impact in the market, sending Cardano up nearly 80%, sending XRP up 36%, Solana as well having a significant pump, which was obviously great for the holders of those coins. But if you were paying close attention, you probably realized that not only those coins started to rip, but so did Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the wider crypto markets, which I think completely gives the game away as to why the markets were really pumping yesterday. And then we see this arrive an hour later. Obviously, I meant to include Bitcoin and Ethereum as valuable cryptocurrencies on the list that I wrote out earlier. Oops, don't you think this is a little bit weird? All these coins were obviously pumping already, and then suddenly someone reminded Donald Trump, probably his son, Eric Trump, that he should probably have included these two on that list as well. So this tells me two things about what was going on in crypto yesterday. Firstly, that Donald Trump, or whoever writes Donald Trump's tweets, did this in maybe a bit of a hurry and didn't perhaps give it the full due diligence that we in crypto think that it deserved. But I also think it shows us something else. It wasn't this tweet that actually sent the crypto markets pumping. No, the game was already set up. The market makers, who we keep talking about on this channel, who've been manipulating the markets in a crazy way over the last few months, knew the game plan. They knew exactly what was about to go on. This was all a move that had been planned probably over the last few weeks, maybe even longer. Since Donald Trump got into the White House, we've been waiting for a tweet like this. We've seen the markets declining, worried, panicked, when everyone in the know knew exactly what was about to play out. In the middle of last week, we then saw Bitcoin and Solana mysteriously disappearing off of the Binance Exchange and others, causing everyone to speculate on whether things would get worse. We then saw some catastrophic news drop on Friday that saw Bitcoin dumping to 79k. All of a sudden, Donald Trump drops this tweet on Sunday, gets it wrong the first time round, and then the markets pump up. So how do we know this is BS? Well, he only tweeted about 3 coins and the entire crypto market ripped towards the upside. And that should give you an indicator that there was already market makers planning this move, and that saw the markets pump towards the upside. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Think about it. Cardano went up 80%. XRP went up 36%. Again, tens and tens of billions of dollars. Bitcoin pumping as well. Ludicrous amounts of money arrived back in the markets yesterday. So where did that money come from? Was it the people who were reading Donald Trump's tweet? Or was it perhaps market makers and everyone else planning that move? Now, understanding that there is a game in front of us right now that is being smokescreened by the news that obviously is positive. I'm not taking away from the fact that this is very good for cryptocurrency. All I'm saying is that the positive news overlying the top of the real game is designed to make you emotional. And here comes the problem. Many of you are now staring at this chart being like, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it's time that I actually get out the markets and take some profits off the table, because today my crypto has started to tank towards the downside once more, and I'm so scared because of all of this PTSD that I've accumulated from all of this drama that I'm now completely confused about what's happening next. And again, that is part of the game. This was the aim of the market makers on you over the last few months. They knew full well what they were doing and the result it would have. So let me subtly tell you what is about to happen next. This is all the way back from 2023. In fact, January through to March 2023. In fact, we saw a double top come in, interestingly, breaking the neckline, coming all the way down off of some bad news that I can't remember, only to be then pumped up by some good news that I also can't remember. When I say bad news and good news, what I secretly mean is only to be dropped and dumped by the market makers, only to be then pumped by the market makers. So in order to understand exactly where we go from here, we need to understand simply what the market makers have planned for us ahead. Well, obviously, down here we saw max fear coming back into the markets. I made a video, I believe on Friday, talking about max fear, and usually this being the best place to accumulate because typically it means the market makers are about to turn the markets around. From a simple chart perspective, all we're seeing right now is Bitcoin regain this area of support, coming back to retest it as support now, and the next move most likely is a continuation towards the upside, which is very much like we saw here, and again here, and again here, and again here. So why right now do we find the market pausing like this? Well, it's just having a little bit of relief after all that upside. What else? The market makers are also trying to trick the bears into entering more short trades to provide the liquidity for the next move higher. This, of course, is the game. Remember, they're trying to make people make the wrong decisions. There is a game afoot, and if you can understand exactly what the game being played is, it makes it much easier. How do we understand what the game is? Well, you, me, we represent the market. Think about how you're feeling right now. If you're worried that the markets are going to come back down, then the good news is the chances are they're probably not, because they're doing the opposite of what our monkey minds are telling us to do right now. So what on earth should we be doing right now? Well, I assume, because obviously you're subscribed to the House of Crypto with the notification bell turned on, that over the last few weeks, which probably did last a lot longer than everyone anticipated, including myself, you've been buying the dips, which meant that yesterday, after the market started to pump towards the upside, you saw significant recovery, perhaps a lot quicker than those who were just sitting on their losses up here, and definitely much quicker than those who panic sold the bottom down here. In which case, you should do nothing. I've said it. What on earth could you possibly be doing right now? Why are you staring at the charts? If you're not planning on buying more and you're not planning on selling, why do you continue to make this more painful and emotional than it needs to be? Really, you shouldn't be that emotional about what's happened right now. This is simply just a recovery from an oversold position when enough bears stepped into the market to provide the liquidity to move the market higher. Fundamentally, this market is driven not by Donald Trump, not by anything else behind the scenes, but simply M2 money supply. I showed you a video, I believe yesterday, where I talked about this M2 money supply and the fact that it bottomed out. It leads the Bitcoin price by about 10 weeks. And I said that there was a very high likelihood that we weren't going to go much lower. Now, I didn't anticipate to see the market pump back up quite as aggressively as it did. But ultimately, you're simply seeing liquidity return to the markets, the fact that the market makers have manipulated the emotion enough, and now we're ready to get moving once more. And I want to remind you of something. Many people yesterday were saying things to me like, should I sell my Beam tokens to buy Metacade? Because Metacade was pumping 25% up yesterday while Beam was up like 5 to 7%. And I said, have you learned nothing? Give yourself a very gentle slap on the face right now because of this. Many people who saw significant pain because they were buying into coins, just Medicaid for example, back in December, saw the most significant pains because why? They were aping into the top of these big green candles like this. Ultimately, when we get big green candles, we typically get followed up with big red ones. So if you found yourself buying in and aping into, let's say, even just Cardano yesterday when it was up here, what on earth have you been doing? Okay, you know what caused the problems that caused you all this stress over the last few months, and it's doing the very thing that maybe you found yourself doing. You have to have self-discipline in this to understand that, yes, maybe the coins I'm holding won't pump today. Ultimately, there's a chance that they will pump sometime later in the week, while the coin that was pumping the most yesterday is in fact today one of the coins that is down the most. In fact, Cardano at one point pulled back 22%. It's now down 18%. This isn't to say that Cardano is a bad coin or it's not going to recover. Guys, buy coins that are yet to see significant pumps. If you missed out on this Cardano move, then guess what? There will be another coin that comes along and pumps. And yes, everyone will be down in the comments being like, yeah, but it's not going to be in the strategic reserve. Well, yeah. So what? Okay, the news that has had that positive effect has already taken place. You've seen it, which means what? You need more positive excitement and news to come out about that coin to encourage more people to come in and buy it. Every time that happens, there is less people to come in and buy it because they're already holding it, okay? The big money who bought here, knowing full well what Donald Trump had planned, probably already started taking some profits off the table here, and that's why we've seen it cool off. Don't worry, obviously it's going to see continued upside, but your game is very simple. When the dumps come in the markets, buy into the dips, okay? Do so calmly. When the pumps come in the markets, don't then try and sell the coins that you're holding that didn't pump yesterday or didn't pump that much yesterday to try and buy the coins that did. Because instead of being up like 7% today, now you're down 22%. which is much more painful, I think you'll agree. So remember, be patient and have some self-control. I highly recommend, if you've been in the market since like December and you made mistakes, that you think about what those mistakes were and you write them down and you stick them somewhere that you can see them next time you feel like doing something emotionally driven in the crypto market. So in my opinion, given the liquidity situation, given the restoration that's happening in the sentiment of the market, given the fact that there is a huge amount of bears still sat with massive leverage positions towards the downside that are just ready to get liquidated, that we can see a move up here much sooner than maybe anticipated, okay? If this happens, you can see Bitcoin very quickly move on through. Don't be surprised if it does. We can, of course, also see it just play around here for a little bit, who knows? But I do anticipate this happens some point this week, okay? Obviously not financial advice, go and do your own research. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think we've seen this before. It's not really that difficult to work out what's going on. Now, if you're inexperienced in these markets and you're not really sure which way to turn and you want someone calm to tell you to calm the hell down, then make sure you get yourself into the Moon House, which is linked down below in the description. In here, you can ask various different questions, and I myself, along with 2 other experts, will be able to provide you with the answers that you want. Also, you'll be able to keep up to date with the different coins and tokens that we're talking about before everyone else starts to talk about them. This here is ZigChain. I talked about this on the 26th of February, just a few days ago. Yesterday, we saw Alex Becker talking about this on his crypto channel. So if you want to get into coins before Alex Becker and other people in crypto are talking about them, then make sure you get yourself in the Moon House. Not only do you access the altcoin alerts and be able to ask questions from people who've got significant experience in crypto over the last few years, but you'll also be kept up to date with all of the latest market news, and you'll be able to attend a weekly Zoom call where I myself and the other experts will take you through our own research, talking about different coins that we're personally buying into. Now, you've only got to read the reviews to see that this is one of the most valuable tools available in crypto right now. So obviously go and check it out, but if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. I will obviously continue to bring you the best alpha content that I can on this YouTube channel. Now guys, if you made it this far through the video and you enjoyed today's video, then please hit that like button. If you didn't enjoy it, give me a thumbs down. It's good for the engagement all the same. Write a comment down below as well. I will also, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my face before, then make sure you're subscribed, notification bell turned on to be kept up to date with the latest goings on in the crypto market. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.